Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling WB. Be yourself, see yourself, this is a show my people. Belize our hopes so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, is the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Love, respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes, WB. And all the things that will be happen like a God blue sky. People get victimized, let's work together for better. We got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WB. Get up, make every day count. Don't waste it, people. Do your part, play your role, get where you need to. You can tune in for work or in your vehicle. If you got a problem, pick up the phone. Why wait? It's a time calling. It's a show with no matter even if you're at home. Just call in. WB. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WB. Be yourself, see yourself. This is a show, my people. Belize our hopes so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, is the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Love, respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes, WB. And all the things that will be happen under God blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Let's work together for better. We got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize.
Good morning, Belize. Welcome to the WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. It's Monday morning, the 9th of December 2024. We hope as you rise this morning, you have great health, your energy levels high, and of course, your vibrations positive. I'm Mose Hyde, and I'm hosting today's edition of Belize's premier morning conversation, the WB, live on Creme Radio and on XTV. I want to welcome everybody to our house. Those where they listen, where they watch, on our apps. Hope you've had them downloaded to your favorite device. Of course, those getting us via our social media streams and via simulcast coverage. I'm sure you know how this works. It's not different this morning. It's warm-ups and then main course. And so, let's get to a bit of the warm-ups. We do have some news for you, but before we do that, we find out what kind of weather we can expect today. And for that information, we turn to the National Meteorological Service for the weather forecast. This is going to be done by forecaster Crystal Gonzalez this morning. So let's tap into that.
A gradual increase in moisture over the area is expected to start today. The 24-hour forecast: skies will become cloudy at times. Showers or areas of light rain will be scattered around the country today, with a few more expected over southern areas. High temperatures will reach around 83 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 85 degrees Fahrenheit inland, and 71 degrees Fahrenheit in the mountains. Low temperatures for tonight will reach around 73 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 66 degrees Fahrenheit inland, and 62 degrees Fahrenheit in the hills. Winds over the open sea will be from the east to northeast at 5 to 15 knots, and sea conditions will be moderate. And then low tides occur at 10:40 this morning and then at 11:32 tonight. High tides at 4:53 this evening and then at 5:36 tomorrow morning. The moon will rise at 12:47 this afternoon and then set at 1:17 tomorrow morning. Sunrise is at 6:12 this morning and then sunset at 5:18 this evening. The extended forecast: skies will be sunny with cloudy spells and isolated showers developing for Tuesday, and then cloudy at times with a few showers and isolated thunderstorms developing mostly over the south and some coastal areas on Tuesday night. The sargassum update: impacts, if any, from sargassum will continue to be minimal as observations show little to no sargassum over our area. And this has been this morning's weather report from the National Meteorological Service.
The first private radio in Belize since 1989. FM presents the news. Informative, accurate, current information, local, regional, and international news, weather and sports. And now, the news.
And now, making news this morning here inside the WUB, the country and Cayo in particular, is mourning the death of 10 people, including a mother and daughter, in one night. The horrific multiple fatality happened as a result of a collision involving a Ford Expedition SUV with 4 passengers, a motorcyclist, and a Toyota Corolla car in which 9 people were traveling. The incident occurred on the Benke Road at mile 68 of the George Price Highway at around 10 Saturday night. The Toyota was traveling from the direction of the western border to San Ignacio. As a result of the crash, all 9 Toyota passengers died, as did the motorcyclist. 2 of the 4 SUV passengers were admitted in critical condition. The deceased have been identified as 29-year-old Abigail Bradley, 24-year-old Caitlin Pinello, 30-year-old Jasmine Rodriguez, 19-year-old Jahim Iglesias, 31-year-old Shalio Lopez, Amy Hernandez, and her daughter Jasmine, the driver of the 5-seater taxi Rodel Palmer, and 21-year-old Dennis Williams. Some, we are told, were cousins and were returning from Melchor. This would be the worst traffic fatality in memory for Belize, and Commissioner of Police Chester Williams stated, "This is truly a sad and tragic incident that underscores the fact that as drivers we must exercise due care when using the highways." Twin Tongues Mayor Earl Trapp Jr. visited the scene Saturday night and says there is a need for stricter enforcement of traffic violations. He noted that about 5 families have been impacted by this single accident.
It is heart-wrenching to have seen such a horrific accident as such last night that claimed the lives of at least 10 people. The worst I have ever seen here in Belize. This municipality mourns the death of these 10 people, and we are hurted, and we are very much sorry that it happened. You know, the general sentiments of the people here in this municipality is that, you know, it happened already. We may be reactionary, but it's never too late. It's late in that lives have been lost, but we can take this reactionary moment to begin to implement something proactive. You know, and I believe that it's now time for us as the local authorities, as well as the government, to enforce the laws, because the laws are there. And I have seen things happen in this municipality where motorists, drivers have caused some kind of infringement, and then they come in trying to annul tickets. But I think it's high time that we as leaders begin to take these things very seriously and implement the laws. Because by implementing the laws, 1 or 2 people will get mad at you, but you know what? In the end, we end up saving lives. So we are just 8 miles away from the border, a place where people go to meet friends, you know, and a place where they go to have fun and maybe have some drinks. I have seen checkpoints placed by Sokots, and I believe that the checkpoints have to be more stringent in basically ensuring that the laws are being abided by. And where you have a breathalyzer and people coming from that era or vice versa, if the breathalyzer is saying that you're above the prescribed limit of alcohol, don't even ask that person to drive the vehicle. Take away the vehicle, take it to the station, and then you charge them.
The mayor says drunk drivers need to face prison time. He committed to setting up more checkpoints, particularly at night.
We have a meeting pending for this week with the police department in San Ignacio, along with my traffic wardens. And it will cost us a little more, but my traffic wardens, along with the police, will have to do more checkpoints, especially during this festive season, throughout the towns. And I hope that they implement the laws, because honestly, as per what we have noted over the past month and beyond, we have been having just too much accidents in our country, a small country. And honestly, many of the accidents are due to driving under the influence of alcohol. So I think it's, accidents will happen, but when it happens, it's best it happens and it's not with people that were under the influence of alcohol. We have to do everything to save lives here.
A vigil was held Sunday evening for the young accident victims. A fundraising effort has been started by Pastor Haylock, who can be found on Facebook. Prime Minister John Buseni on Friday was asked to speak on what can be done to address the increase in traffic accidents. He pointed to better infrastructure leading to motorists breaking the speed limits more often.
We have, or the challenges we have, that the better the roads, the more reckless people get, the faster they drive. You know, when you have rough roads, people kind of slow down because of the bump or the hose or whatever. Now that the roads are better, people are driving very fast. And we need to appeal to people that, you know, listen, can't drive to, I use me as an example. At one time I realized that we were driving like 80 miles an hour, you know, and then you save what, like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and you reach here 10, you're stressed because you don't want to go. You know what, I said, you know, tell my driver, hold it down, a little bit over the speed, I would admit, but a lot slower, and you get there, just try to leave earlier, 1 and 2, you get there, you know, and you're not as stressed. I need to appeal to our citizens to slow it down, to please, in many instances, like what some people tell me, say, I don't have to drive for myself, you know, but for drive for the other driver they come, because they are the ones sometimes that you're here doing on your lane, taking your time, and boom, somebody comes. We need to be able to do more of that. I think we probably need to maybe consider, and I'm again speaking out loud, in renewals of driver's license, to maybe give these people take another test, so you really understand what we can do. So that's a downside of improved infrastructure. But we have to ask for people to please be more careful.
Speaking about an increase in motorcycle accidents in particular, Prime Minister John Busenya says they intend to make an amendment as it relates to the integrity of the helmets used.
Because, oh my God, I wish I have a magic wand to answer that. But one of the things we're saying that I think we're going to enact a law that whenever you buy a motorcycle, you have to buy a helmet and a certain grade, because a lot of them buy nearly cheap, $25 hat, and as soon as they reach, they knock it flies off, and then their head hits. So we want to do that. I think we want to amend the law for that, and for also that children also must wear these helmets. And I think we need to increase or have better technology for the police, that as they're speeding, that you have a gun to measure the speed and also to be able to capture the license plate, so that then we can go after them even later. Because, you know, in a cycle, it's difficult to catch them, because they quickly go through different areas. But we have to appeal to our citizens to please be careful. Yes, they might feel, you know, the exhilaration, the thrill of on a motorcycle at 80, 90 miles an hour, but one slip, one rock you hit the wrong way, you're gone. And also even in the tongue, that they will be speeding and going through different vehicles, and from the right side and the left side, they're being reckless. They're putting their lives at stake, and then put other people, innocent people, through a traumatic experience. I appeal to everyone, please be careful. We're coming into the Christmas season. While the Christmas season has started, be careful. If you're drinking, don't drive. Get somebody else to drive. And that's as best as we can do.
Meanwhile, news was received Saturday evening of the passing of Coast Guard seaman 25-year-old Gianni Vanegas. She had been involved in a traffic accident 2 Saturdays ago. As a result of her injuries, she was left in a coma. She was riding her motorcycle in Rowan Creek Village when she lost control and flipped. Vanegas was the best performing female recruit from last year's intake. The Social Security Board has released an infographic reporting that from January to August of this year, it has paid out just over $87 million in benefits. According to the board, 75% of those payments were for long-term benefits, and of that figure, retirement benefits topped the list with 78% of claims. In the short-term category, sickness benefit claims represented 76% of claims. The SSB says the statistics highlight how contributions to the fund are assisting beneficiaries. Reports are that an American woman tragically lost her life in a golf car accident Friday evening in San Pedro. The woman was reportedly traveling along with her partner near Secret Beach Road when the car hit a bump and she fell to the pavement. First responders were called to the scene, but despite their efforts, they were unable to revive her. And that's all we got for our morning news. We take a small break. When we come back on the other side, you know the drill. We open up for conversation. You're listening to Creme Radio. You're watching XTV. We will be right back.
The first private radio in Belize since 1989. The news. Informative, accurate, current information, local, regional, and international news, weather and
All right, welcome back to the WUB Wake Up Believes Morning Vibes on this Monday morning, the 9th of December 2024. I'm Mose. In case you're just joining us, I'll be your host today. I'm only hosting, so I'm not here to, present a sermon. Sometimes I end up giving sermons because you don't activate your membership and you don't join us via phone. You're not able to access in. We have the phone line so that you could talk. And that number is 280-5848. And with that line, you are able to get into the conversation, express your thoughts and your views and your opinions and all that great stuff. But that's just the way it works. And unfortunately, and not unusually, anybody that's a WUBer, not someone who drops in and then drops out, who goes giveaway, brief little looks and then move on and they're all over the place. I'm talking here about WUB tribe, official passport holders, official residency card holders. You have your citizenship at WUB, right? You might visit other places, but that's where you live. You know that over the past months, we have spent a significant part of our bandwidth talking about safety on the roadways. Even when other topics, more sensational, more juicy, we felt it important to give a bit of our bandwidth. And one of the reasons why we have been doing that is that generally, when we come in on Monday mornings, our week begins with reading a bit of news from the weekend. And the weekends being what they are, is when we get a lot of trouble. Either we've over the years, we know that on Monday mornings when we come, we will be talking here about homicides, we'll be talking about traffic accidents, and unfortunately, a lot of those traffic accidents in 2024 have been involving motorcycles. And so we would come here on Monday mornings and have to read about that. And it really hits you that when you come in, it's usually you make the assumption, well, let's see where the traffic accident happened this weekend. And so because of that on Monday mornings, we have spent some time talking about that, because Monday mornings is when that reality stares you in the face. The entire nation, tip to tip, north to south, every part of it, wherever Belizeans are in this beautiful place we call home, kind of had that very painful reality moment when we could not get away. We could not get away. We could not get away with our trips and our preparations that we are going through for the season. No, we could not get away. But we have our first call of the morning, so I yield. Krem, good morning.
Krem, good morning. Can you hear me?
Hear you loud, I hear you clear, I hear you strong. Yeah, I hear you beautifully.
Okay, I just wanted to let Mose know how rested he look and how handsome he looks today, and I want to make it eat.
Well, you're talking to Mose. You thank you. You cheer me up. I don't feel that way, but listen. That's the it's a very kind and appreciated gesture. Let me tell you that. All right.
Well, I wanted to do that for you today. So you're going on the TV. So I listened to TV, but you have a certain flow today that I wanted to share.
Man,
and waited is Miss Olive.
I picked up your voice, Miss Olive. I want to thank you very much. It's very appreciated. Yeah, that's that gives me a little bunks to the bunks. Great. Thank you. Same to you, and very kind, and the attitude is gratitude, right? Thank you very much. Maybe the sun setting upon the camera got me to look glowing. Thank you, Cliff, for have one good setting. Not to try bring out the better part. Do your best. Do magic. Give thanks. So I was in the middle of saying that we are able to block out things that depress us. We kind of don't want to talk about all of that. But we have a call. Krem, good morning, WUB.
Good morning, my brother Mose.
Good morning. Good morning. This you have your volume on your device so I get feedback, Sonny.
All right, I done it down.
And you don't want veteran call. You are not a first time caller to any show, Sonny. So yeah.
Well,
What's going on? All away, Sonny. All away. Say I need compliments now for feel better. We did it. Oh shucks! You don't know what happened there? Boy, I don't know if it's because shave off some hairs off of my face, boy. Talk to me.
Well, really, I can't, when you try to find, let's say, to settle the police want the holiday from the black day and I can't find who we are trying to do, nothing about it.
I am not a bolito buyer, but I have sworn that I will not be without a number for that. That not make no sense for now have. I want when they do the draw that I have some mathematical chance of winning, which I don't want to buy one lot of number, but I buy at least one. But I don't know where, and so maybe I can try to see maybe somebody out there.
If you find a way of buy your one number.
Yeah.
And you put it on the radio because a lot of people is
I got you, Sonny. Maybe there's somebody out there who can help us, my brother. So anybody out there will know, you could call with 280-5848, but we'll try to find out about it, okay?
Thank you, my brother. You have a blessed Christmas and a safe New Year.
Be safe, brother. Bless all the time, yeah. Telephone number 280-5848. So I was just kind of setting the stage for the fact that over this weekend, unless you were like really unplugged and in a hole, you were able to not know that we had this national tragedy. And that's what it is. It's not a San Ignacio, Twin Towns, Cayo tragedy. It's not only obviously it is a horrific news for family members and friends and the immediate community. They will never be the same. But we have a call. Krem, good morning, WUB. Yeah, but the brother is saying that he goes there and they are telling him that they don't know anything about it. So I've not gone to try to buy it. I don't even know where to buy it. I ain't no Bible either. I don't even advocate for Bible either, but I keep my mouth kind of quiet upon that. But I intend to at least buy one. So if you to tell me you could go to anybody we're selling, I don't even know whether anybody we're selling. So who are the ones we sell right now? All right, we're going to put that to the test. All right then. Give thanks for helping us, though. Give thanks for helping us. Yeah, calling in and telling us what's going on. So we know that the family, you're never the same. And especially when so many of those that we have lost in this one historically horrific collision were young people in the prime. Talk about me looking a little bit glowing this morning. It's like there's nothing as beautiful as the young. Like that's just what it is. Like all young people, like they're in their prime of health and energy. But we have a call. Krem, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. You're live on the air. You got to lower your radio, your TV, or whatever you're listening to the show on. Caller, you need to listen to me on your phone, and you need to lower the volume on your devices.
Yes, I didn't hear someone.
Aye! I say I can't even hear your voice sake of the feedback and so, and because you know what?
Yes, I've been putting people on news. I've been putting people on news. Why did they read?
You see, and because it's such a rare thing, such a it's really, you don't even know. I've got to pinch myself to know that it's really like, is this Miss Gwen? You sound like Miss Gwen. Well, Miss Gwen, I am truly, I don't know where to go on. I had a win Bolivia this morning, a lot of good vibes. What's going on, Miss Gwen?
Well, that's what they went with the shirt.
Oh! So,
That
shirt. So let me just, I've said this before and I'll say it again, right? This time, I actually begged for this shirt. So, no, because I don't want nobody, I don't want nobody to shame me in the future. Like when somebody gives you something, then go and pour over you because they could call you out. So I actually one day say Brick City in the shirt, and I said to Brick, brother, make a be really do. When you take that off, wash that, and you have to give me that shirt because one, the shirt not really fit you that well because it tight up, and you have to know your size. Two, two, yeah, two, know one thing. I have these colors there, the my colors, then another 100 my colors, like then another your colors, bro. So really and truly, you pick the shirt, but the shirt not pick you. So I wouldn't use a term like that. I demanded and dictated and bullied the shirt, and I want a man to shame me in the future. So this is what it look like when you. It's going. I don't know where to go on here. I get a lot of noise. Yeah, I just wanted. I don't have no apology. I don't got no shame or nothing for say that. Yeah, I really and truly. Maybe if you want to use that term, I shake down the man for the shirt.
You shake down the man for the shirt.
I shake down the man for the shirt.
So in corporate language, you hustle the shirt.
And you know, in reality, I have to tell the man like, yo, bro, I make this shirt look better than you. So you know, I want to make the world like this shirt, and that's as it has turned out. A lot of people tell me about the shirt. So give thanks, Brick. Big up, Brick. Big up, Brick. The man take it like a champ. So what's going on this morning beside the shirt? Because I don't want you to. I don't want to believe that more the shirt than me. So I want to believe that you call, yeah, the shirt, that one thing for yourself, but that you just really want to shout me up. And you also they say when we are do hams on the Christmas show. I always this are the month of ulterior motive. Like if somebody show up at your house. Listen, that not stop you from eat ham last year. You never there. So. The thing is actually interviewed Matthew last week when we talked about production of ham, processing, price of ham, and that kind of thing, using his expertise, his long years. You know, the tradition in that family is 100 years old. That's a lot of ham making knowledge right there. So I listened a little bit to him last week, but I was saying that this is the season where you have to always be suspicious of ulterior motives. If somebody will not sit a long time show up at your house, out of the blue, yes, that is a possibility that people just miss you and they want to see you. But there's always that small little possibility that they're fishing for something. You see me? Like if you know you have a friend who loves carbohydrates, and then show up there, yeah, just maybe they're interested in a slice of cake. You never know. And then you have those. Huh? The heavy carbs, yes, you have to be. But I talk about right now the things with the carbs, right? See? So you have to be careful, especially now, you know, you got some friends where you know they have a passion for eating. I have some friends who have a passion for drinking. And then I have some friends who have a passion for eating. And, you know, and some who have a passion for cooking. No, I know you know the panelists. Definitely not. So, but I'm very happy to hear you, Miss Gwen. You're back in town because I know you were not here. You spent, I believe, the November Settlement Day celebrations out of foreign. But you never gave a link, Miss Kona. She don't know.
Yeah, I never gave a link, Miss Kona.
How was that? How was that? Like, was that how was that? Like, I think this is one of like your first times outside the country for November.
I don't like it because comparing that the honestly feel that home on the day instead of apart from the roommate and the normally the parade from church to probably have the official ceremony, the light drumming and so. But apart from that, I
Yeah.
Like in other essence.
Yeah.
But it's not, I say, 19th November here, been associated with drunkenness and bad me bad. So, but you know, the cultural part still in it. That's the way I love about it. The
Yeah.
drumming and the center.
You
The cultural part.
would you say the same would you say the same for the for the energy on 19th morning in Punta Gorda? Because the one time that I witnessed that, I was just impressed, like 100%. Like it was such a culturally vibrant process and colorful, and it really wasn't about just just partying. I really was impressed when I saw it down in PG. So I don't know if if you feel the same way about.
No, I know the PG television comes at the party.
In fact, PG is the place where I see the widest participation from the community, where there's this complete immersion in the culture, Garifuna culture, where even you would say non-Garifuna are all like just openly showing this reverence and this participation in event. I was really, but PG really stood out. And I have been to, spent many 19th in Dangriga. In fact, it's the only other place I've spent it besides Belize City, and then I had an opportunity to sit in PG, and I have been told, like I have some friends who have told me out in LA that they do a really good big thing. I think it's on 48th Street there in LA. Yeah. So you went to all? You went to all of them?
I was done at 48 for the tribute.
Okay.
Yes, TV Ramos' granddaughter.
Okay.
Tribute there. I didn't really want it, it's different from what we do here, but still want tribute in terms of honoring her grandfather.
Okay.
Look about when they called brother was there, don't talk. I don't know what to call front, but man.
So it's the first time you had to. So you had a sweater? You had to put on a sweater and jacket and so?
Yeah, sweater and socks, soft to socks. Going on here, so, but that's the way I want it. But I really want to talk some about the topic where you talk about, because I got up this morning, with devotion, I just lift up the family.
Yeah.
I mean, every whole day that I would the running yesterday evening, I think I here for the accident, so it's just money. like the body. And then they got some people that they sit there.
Yeah, in fact, just last week on the morning stew, Mr. Frisco and Groove spent a significant time just, dealing with the issue of the kind of lights. I think somebody called in to really, I think it was Brother Bradshaw called in to say that the kind of lights that they have now, that they're putting on the vehicles, and it's almost as if though there is a battle of lumens. Lumens is the unit for light, and so there's a battle of lumens. So everybody is trying to outdo everybody. I want to blind you so that when I got to my high, it's like it's like this whole ego thing, right? And I want to make sure that you know that I got the brightest light on the highway and all of that. And so and then they have some so that's a part of it. Like if we put together all the ill-advised things and all the various poor habits that we have, from the way we construct, the maintenance of roadways, the way that we drive, the lack of driver education, the usage of phones, our poor habit with seat belts, our disregard for vehicle maintenance, our disregard for speed control. You put all those things together every day, every night. Every day, every night. These poor, ill-advised choices are coming together. And that is how you cook the kind of horror that we experienced this weekend. There's no one thing. And so when we feel all this pain, we want to feel like we have someone that we can say, this is the person that did wrong. I think what we should be motivated to do instead is for us to look at ourselves and to see how we can be a part of changing the reality that we have on our roadways. The reality that we have in our roadways is mayhem. And that's not, yes, the authorities, drivers, enforcement, all of that. Everybody has to look at it and say, you don't end up, I don't know the details. I don't know if somebody was drinking, but enough emerges for you to know there's a whole lot that could have gone wrong, and it seems that it all went wrong for 10 people and all at the same time. This should be a moment that we say, okay, no, this is not who we will be. And if you are not driving or committed to driving at reduced speed, personally making that choice today, then don't talk to me about who is wrong. And don't talk to me about, quick to say, well, why would they have 9 people in a vehicle and da-da-da-da-da-da. First, confront the poor choice that you make every day. And understand that the way it works is you will do, if you raise a child, you have a child, you're telling, no jump up off of that thing. And you're telling 1,000 times. The child says, but every time I jump, okay. You, the adult, aware that, you might jump up every day off of that chair. But one of these days, the way it works out, you will know why we've been telling you not to do that. That's how it works. It's not that our poor choices lead to this type of horrific accident every weekend. What it does is that it guarantees that at some point in time, all these very bad things will converge and create a result that is unimaginably horrible. And that's what we experienced this weekend. Like, some of you maybe have been able to not deal with the fact that every single weekend almost we have some valuable, beautiful human being that last week it was a 13-year-old boy on a motorbike. So if you're in the media, you can't block that out. You can't ignore that. You can't Netflix that out. Every Monday morning, I get here and I have to confront the score. And so, and truth be told, Miss Gwen, like, we had a horrible loss as a family. My sister lost her son, who is in the prime of her life. And I remember when I got that call, it's one of the worst things. You can't imagine. Like, my sister has immense strength. She's really, but I know inside she lost her boy. We lost, or youth, we lost, or never we lost somebody that was like just about to, just to blossom, just to, right at that point. So when you lose someone, no matter how old they were lost, but when we lose young people, all that promise, all that was to be, is gone. In the prime of their physical, all that energy, all that talent, all the years of nurturing, knowledge, training, all of that has just been vanquished. Driving fast is not worth it. Drive it.
Then they were overtake, and the last time, like, when the road, part of the road is dusty, I said, man, I did cruise, so you can't even fix it. They don't. Somebody called right through, and I noticed too, they small car. I know there's a lot of smaller cars now. So some of them small car drivers, I noticed with them, that then I don't know if the car is smaller or faster, or they take the speed, and when they ring, I'm like, right? Because see that funny, then they put one, that if they think they're muffler, or after the muffler down bad, because you have the noise, so you get your attention for far. And you see that them, and the bad part is they're not only there. If they get upset and then the roads are only there, yes, they are affected. So I believe that in the end, they put it on to our churches. The churches where we make, because they usually try to be careful. They want while one come, no the city effect whatever. One time I did go and I see one that you dance. They are still rude. I said, one day this person must get stuck at the right thing.
Yeah.
When I said I need to pass this person, so I ran and then I checked it close and then I passed. Unconcerned on their phone.
Yep.
Unconcerned.
Yep.
Wow.
You know, Miss Gwen, I went a couple weeks ago. I went running. So I have to get physical. So I went on the road, and I had to tell my family, like, I don't feel comfortable because I have to trust vehicles that are passing me at 65, 70 miles per hour, that the driver is paying attention, because it doesn't take much for that driver just to have that one moment where they're not sure where they're going, for me to be a statistic. I can't trust that, if I go running for a couple of miles, at least, I don't know, 50, 60 vehicles. I have to be confident that every one of those drivers is about the business of driving, is not worried if a message comes in on the phone, doesn't feel the need to have to check Facebook before they get home, did not take a couple drinks before they got in the vehicle, and that they have serviced their vehicle and their tires, have checked their tie rods and making sure that they are well, like just right here in the city, like just for those who are here in the city, wherever you are, how many times this year have you seen a vehicle with the wheel off, stranded in the highway, stranded? I've seen vehicles stranded at the roundabouts, one of the worst places you could end up getting and things like that. Because once the wheel caves, you know the move from there. You need to be rescued then, right? Just imagine if that happens going 65, 70 miles per hour. Like people are driving in vehicles that are compromised. They have very limited knowledge of the maintenance of that vehicle. It's just a long list of poor choices. The people who feel like the only time you're supposed to put lines and reflectors on road is when you first build them, and no concern about when it starts to fade, which paint does. Paint, when I have vehicles, they run over it, fade. The paint on your house fade. What you think of the paint where you put on the road, it fades. You remember when the Thomas Vincent Highway was just made, how you had reflectors on both sides. It had, oh man, watch out. You drive and, I remember when they just do the hummingbird. Oh, it was such a delight. It's so easy. It's so easier for drive. It's so less taxing on your energy level. Man, watch ya. Driving on a road when I have proper lines and reflectors and so, it make you get tired quicker, especially at night. Like, it's like all these poor choices. We can't get away with it, you know. We can't get away with it until we not get away with it. And then we don't.
I try to let before I get out, but sometimes things happen that the darkness will catch you.
Yeah.
I just cruise along because when they're hiking, they're going, so that I just slow or I almost have to park. So give me a kind of, my brother says, not look on the left, look down and look on it and look right. So I try iron, but then you like that's their strategy, you know. That's their technique, you know, bright like this. So
They lights enough for brighten the road. I like that for try brighten the future. I think they're not some serious weaponized version of lights, sister, and nobody has the bandwidth apparently. Listen, I don't recall ever stopping at a checkpoint where you were being checked for anything other than your license and you're making sure that you pay your money for license, got your license for your vehicle. It's really the checkpoint is about money. So saying that we need more checkpoints, but listen, the checkpoints, 99% of checkpoints are to make sure that you have paid the money for the insurance and you have paid the money for the license sticker to say that your vehicle is registered, just to ensure that taxation is proper. Otherwise than that, you could go on bottle of whiskey cider, you good. Just make sure that you pay that and that's it. You good. That the primary concern at checkpoints is the issue of vehicle registration and insurance. That's what it is. I have never had any, and we only hear sometimes we get one donation of the breathalyzer thing, and that when we would have those. I don't know if you've ever been in a vehicle or if anybody you know has told you that they've been in a vehicle where their sobriety was ever questioned by a checkpoint. Like we don't know what that is. I don't know how many Belizeans have ever been asked to walk a straight line to check their sobriety. I don't know how many Belizeans know what it is to ever be had a breath checked for alcohol consumption. That's not what we have cared about. Like we have. Then you look for somebody. So you basically have to endure checkpoints. Now I imagine we are got 1,000 checkpoints per mile going into the Christmas season. Yeah, make movement more pain at the backside. But all they want to do that check to see your paper is correct. I know that. I will correct that. We spent, Miss Gwen, we spent many mornings, and I have to go to break shortly, but we spent many mornings talking about the fact that the number of, especially young people who are dying on motorbikes, was not just an enforcement thing. It was not just something for the police to respond to. In fact, our opinion is that this is a public health crisis, and that all these sectors, transport, enforcement, the Ministry of Health and Wellness, should be forging together a battle plan to confront this. We spent mornings on this show discussing this. We need to hear that somebody is at the wheel. And in fairness, the one person that went on the record after that to say that they would try to do something was the Commissioner of Police. And I did observe, going through multiple checkpoints where there was an emphasis on stopping riders on motorbikes. So I will give that recognition that there seemed to have been, the Commissioner was paying attention. But overall, the response to the carnage on the road has not been properly responded to. And saying that we are going to fix it by, we are going to try to make sure that we ensure that, the Prime Minister, I think, was on the record just Fridays, we have to check on the helmets. That again is just the press catch the Prime Minister and throw a question out. No, there has to be organizing of the agencies that bear the responsibility to craft the response, a thorough and a proper response. And I again suggest that should include the Ministry of Health and Wellness. It should include transportation and as well as the enforcement, and so that you come up with an adequate plan. We are not the only country on the planet that is experiencing a rise in motorcycle fatalities. Like this has been plaguing South America for a while. This has been plaguing Asia for a while. They've had this problem, and they have tried multiple things. You're not just, we are need to do this. No, you need to apply organized brain power, and even then you are struggle because it's a tough problem.
Yeah, and then I found out because more than one time, I have my colleagues and it's like they overtake on the wrong side where I'm moving. I don't know the left and the right, but on the wrong side, they're not the cut, they're not business, and then I'm concerned about the delivery guys because I don't know if whoever they ask that they want to make a hurry or that they hurry because they got some delivery to do, and one of my guys found out one of them and I said, but I know for the person to make wrong decision, and that's not right. The safety has to come first. If you can't do it and they want it now, make somebody get a job. That would be where the safety first. So, but there was a discussion we can't stop, and I hope and pray that families start with their families too.
It begins with our personal choices. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much, Ms. Gwen. It's great hearing from you. Yeah, I gotta go to 2 cents scam. Me and my fancy shirt. Are you? Wait, hold up. You're not say what you have to say. Aye, man. Goodness.
Only you got a title.
Aye, my goodness.
Remember,
Man.
only you are lucky who had a title. They don't got a title. You are the only rich man.
I deal with it. Give thanks. No, we could move on. Ayo, we gotta go to 2 cents scam. It's sponsored by 4th Point Security. We take our first break after that. This is Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. More to discuss when we come back.
What are 2 cents? What are your favorite Belizean pastry?
My favorite Belizean pastry is the potato pong.
That your 2 cents?
That my 2 cents.
Alright.
My favorite Belizean pastry, the coconut tart. And I have another favorite, fudge, because that's very easy to make and you can make it in the comfort of your own home, even if you just have like a tabletop stove.
Alright.
What you say?
Favorite Belizean pastry?
Favorite Belizean pastry is bread pudding, but my style, the full rich bread pudding. That's my one for my mom. Thank you.
Really? Can't get down.
Jam roll.
Yeah, right. He says that. Yeah, what are your favorite Belizean pastry?
Chocolate cake.
All right, welcome back to the WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. Mose Hyde hosting. We've got a call. Krem, good morning.
Hi, good morning, Mose.
Yes, sir.
I'm calling concerning the motorcycle situation. It is indeed like a dilemma. On Friday, a policeman said at around, I think it was around 7 o'clock at night on Friday, a policeman mentioned that there was 5 motorcycle accidents that occurred on Friday. And many of them, most of them involve what you call gunmen. But the suggestion that I'd like to give is 2 suggestions that may be able to help, that would be able to help. The first one is that everybody who gets a motorcycle license, before they get a license, they should be made to take some type of motorcycle certification course. I bought a motorcycle for somebody who was studying in Taiwan, and before they were able to get their license, they had to attend a school for motorcycle safety. And in that school, they taught them about the laws concerning motorcycle safety tips. They also showed them some graphic videos of real accidents that happen involving motorcycles. Graphic videos. And that would serve to educate, because the truth is that I think that many of the people who ride motorcycles, they just don't have the information. And so if we could implement some type of training course, I don't know if the government would be the correct ones to do it. I don't know if the transport department would be the ones to do it, but maybe it could be a partnership between a private entity and the government. Some institution that is not prone to corruption. People must be able to get adequate training with respect to driving motorcycles. That's the first one. That's to educate motorcycle drivers. And the second one is that we could have an advertisement campaign to educate the public on the rules and regulations and safety tips concerning riding motorcycles. That would serve to educate, yes, the motorcycle drivers, but it will also help to educate the vehicle drivers who sometimes are in fault. From one example is that I think many drivers don't know that a motorcyclist that is on the road have the same right, the exact same right as a person driving a vehicle. And if people would know that, they would be more careful when overtaking motorcycles. Make sure that they go over the entire next lane while overtaking motorcycles. That they should consider motorcycles just as though it's a vehicle on the road.
Yeah.
But an advertising campaign will help that, right? And the thing is that we can't say we don't have the money. When election is coming up, all the media and TV stations are flooded with advertisements. They don't spare to spend when it's time for elections. So we must be able to allocate a certain amount of money to have a strong, not just a one-off thing, a strong advertisement campaign. This thing is that dilemma. Have a strong advertisement campaign to sensitize the public and the regulations concerning motorcycle and good motorcycle safety tips. And I think that will help to curb the situation.
So thank you for your input. I think what is important is not whether or not the suggestions are the best ones. Is that one thing we have to agree on is that it is a crisis that deserves and requires the full attention of all involved, and we've been advocating for that we need to get a sense that the respective agencies are focused, and that's always a problem, right? Because it's when you have something like this happens. For those who are just joining us, I got a call during the break that reminds me that you can't assume anything. Yes, most people who are into the social media knows what happened over the weekend. Unfortunately, you do have people that are not part of the world, and then generally want to start to find out about things via the news, and then later on you have some people who don't know about it till this evening. That's something that I have to remind myself. But most people know about the fact that you had this accident. It happened on the between San Ignacio Benque. You had a Ford vehicle, SUV. You had a taxi, Toyota Corolla, and you had a motorbike. And I think if my memory serves me right, the Toyota and the motorbike were coming from Benke direction. The Ford was coming from San Ignacio. There was a collision around 10 o'clock on Friday night, and you ended up with all the occupants of the Toyota Corolla. There were 9 people inside the Toyota Corolla, and the motorbike rider died. And 2 people were seriously injured in the Ford SUV, and they are hospitalized presently. Just so that people are aware of what we are talking about. Now, when you have 1 or 2 people dying every week on motorbike, that adds up over a period of time. It's the kind of crisis that is tailor-made for inaction, the Belize, because it never reaches a calamitous point where you're forced to reckon with it. You know, it's a steady crisis. It's not like one big calamity. Now we have, unfortunately, tragically, we have what happened over this weekend. So now obviously everybody on Facebook is commenting, everybody, I imagine all over the media will be commenting on this, and everybody is going to be talking about it. The problem with that is that that doesn't have much staying power, because by next week this will be yesterday's news. And then we continue to do some of the same things, and our response is going to run out of fuel. It can't be that way, because what you are pointing out, you know, one of the things that, for example, I can tell you that in my kind of research, couple countries in South America went about it by saying, listen, maybe we need to create a separate lane for motorbikes. Just to show you how people come up with ideas, and then ideas, they might not work. Some of these countries had to reverse, because what they found out was that when they created the lanes for the motorbikes, what happened was that it created an encouragement for motorbike riders to go even faster. And the number of fatalities, not only did it not go down, it went up. In places in Asia where, again, riding on motorbikes is, you know, that's like one of the most popular modes of transportation, they also have the problem. Some of them tried the lane thing, but one of the overall sentiment is there has to be a campaign to confront speed, and that you could try different things, and all you have to do and everything you could do trying to make your roadway safer, but one thing that has an immediate impact on people's well-being on the roadways is get them to reduce their speeds. Make people reduce their speeds. If you are an average 65 miles per hour driver, take that down by 10. You can never be so committed to getting there as fast as you can. It's never worth the risk to feel like I need to drive as fast as I can. So everybody involved has to make a conscious decision, whether our roadways are up to it, whether our vehicles are properly maintained or in any kind of shape to be on the roadways, whether we have good tires or not. One thing we could do right now today, that's say, I want to drive slower when I'm on the road. I want to ride my motorbike slower when I'm on the road. One of the things I also did in response to what's been going on is that, you know, we've decided, and you know, the first person I saw with this was actually a colleague of ours, JCR Zoo. Years ago, he put an app on his phone to convert it into a dash cam, and he would not go on the road without recording the trip. Now dash cams are more popular. You don't even, you know, they actually separate from the phone. It's not just an app, and you put it on your, as the name implies, on your dashboard, and you record your journey. I think that that is extremely important because one, you get to record the bad actors on the road, but also it would be it's an important bit of evidence to determine how things go, because very often we don't really know what has happened. I was actually told during the break, I was sent a message by somebody who says that's in the a part of the judicial enforcement response, to say that there's a lot of cases that the court is inundated with, cases involving all manners of traffic violation, including drinking and driving, and reckless driving, and that type of stuff. I'm curious to know whether or not the people who are charged with drinking and driving, whether or not there were accompanying blood tests done, because it seems to me it's very unlikely to convict someone just based on the suspicion. That is why, you know, like when you did at States, you know, you could say how much you drink, but there is a blood test and there is a level. And if you're above that level, you can't talk nonsense about, but I'm a good, I never drunk. No, drunk is a test and a specific result when it comes to alcoholic percentage in your blood. You know, I hear that you go hold a liquor, that is the number, and you can't adjust it. So that's something for us to consider. But ultimately, it's for us to care even when this weekend's horrific tragedy is fading away from the news cycles. We have to understand our roads are too dangerous, and you never know when that you want to wear the shoes of the grieving family today. And it's more than grieving. When you have to bury your young, and that's it, that you don't fill that hole again. That's a pain that never goes away. Yeah? You have to understand that. That's a loss that cannot be undone. So for us, we move on. But we can't move on from the fact that our collective habits on the road, from the maintenance and lights and everything if we go up on the road to our personal choices, our collective behavior is not good enough to prevent the loss of lives. We have to do much better. So I appreciate your call.
No, you're right, and the thing is that the people who are affected are people who are in the prime of their life, who are in the productive age, and many of them have children and have family members who love them. So it's a very serious thing. And I agree with you that speed. One basic thing that could be done is to just have a happy campaign to let people know that if you just reduce your speed, as you said, by 10 miles an hour, and the road 5 miles an hour in the city, whatever it is, it would make a big difference. And things like painting the highways, painting the lines on the highways, other things that can be done. And I like the suggestion that you made about camera. Maybe we could, maybe people can invest in this and bring in some dash cams that people can use. Because in addition to all that you said that it will help with prosecution and so on, it will also help to serve as a deterrent. Because if we drivers see motorcycles with cameras, with dash cams that record both the front and the back, then we will be more alert to know that we have to be careful when we're overtaking these people.
Let me ask you: Have you ever sent or checked your phone while driving?
Yes, sometimes. So I know it's not good.
I have as well. It's an impulse, right? you see that message come in, you hear that message comes in, and it requires such self-control for you to say, I will check that phone when I arrive at my destination. It takes such self-control. And one of the things that, since I can't trust my self-control, what I try to do is to not have the phone nearby any at all. Because if the phone is nearby, then it becomes, it's there. And it's like, let's say you were expecting a text. You're expecting a text, you've kind of, you have some love interest or something like that. Or you have some business proposal that you're waiting to get some feedback on. Like, these things have gravity. And so, not rely on think you're stronger than you are. You have to see how you could give yourself the best chance of winning in your vehicle. Because I'm telling you, a number of these accidents that we are getting, you would be surprised to know what percentage of them are caused just by distractions by the cell phone.
Yes. So I think with everything that you're saying was that since it has reached this dilemma level, I think what's needed now is a commission, whatever you want to call it, motorcycle safety commission. A commission needs to be set up because there are a lot of good suggestions that are going around. A motorcycle safety commission needs to be set up where people can, where we can get probably stakeholders from different sectors of society, as you mentioned, and come together to draft legislation and draft recommendations to the government of things that we can do to improve education campaign or whatever it is that we can improve. I'd like to say, one other suggestion I'd like to make is, as you mentioned, drinking has a strong effect, and drinking alcohol has a big effect as well, because a lot of these young people are high on the motorcycle. Have a breathalyzer test. I have owned about 2 or 3 different motorcycles at different times, and no, but my mom, she would always worry about me, so I got rid of them, and I have people now. But the thing is that I was in Taiwan last year as well, and I was on the back of a motorcycle, and we were surfing around, and we went up the street, and there was a checkpoint, and the checkpoint was only for motorcycles. The police pulled the motorcycle to the side, and each motorcycle driver, they let blow into something, and it was I found out it was a breathalyzer test, and I asked the young man who was taking me around, he was a student, I said, what would have happened if you would have failed the breathalyzer test? He said, well, they would have taken you to prison, they would have taken you to court, and your scholarship would have likely been revoked, and you'd have to pay a big fine. They take it very seriously. So, and those things don't only serve as punitive measures, but they are also deterrent if our young people know that.
Let me ask you this before you go, and before I go to break. I'm curious because it sounds like you've traveled a bit. Have you been anywhere else besides Belize where people are allowed to travel in the pans of pickup trucks?
No, I've not seen it.
I've not seen it. I've traveled to the United States, many states. People don't ride in the back of pickup trucks, right? Like, and we say, well, where did they for? This is what we do. Well, it's this kind of nonchalant, reckless thing where we do, right? I remember a good friend, God bless the dead, Rasamin, used to both in private conversations, and a couple times when he called, he would say that because remember that he used to sell in the parking lot at Seaview, and he would say, I will tell you something about Belizeans. He says, you expect the Belizean driver to do what is not a part of the rule. We have one recklessness, Bowie, and we love it. Recklessness has a cost. And, you know, and that recklessness is not only the person who has the wheel. Because as everybody has pointed out, and we're not just to talk about this in the aftermath of what happened this weekend. This has been a topic on our bandwidth. And we have been behind the authorities for realize that painting highways is a recurrent expense that you cannot get away from. I remember when the roadway between Halover and Ladyville was more for, you never have lines. The road was narrower. There were no lights. Not even the old Halover Bridge had any lights. It was the only non-illuminated bridge, I believe, in the world. And it had no lights, not even Christmas lights. You just drove on this bridge and that's it. When you get there, you light it up with your own lights. And we used to lose a number of people between Halover and Ladyville. Like, we spent mornings complaining about that. And then that piece of road was redone, the lines were put, lights were placed, and the evidence is there for everybody to see. It's no longer a place where we have frequent accidents. We still have, because it's still a very dangerous road. It has many curves, but the level of danger has been reduced by the investment in these measures. But I know as you watch the road now, I watch the lines, they start to fade, and it's like the only time we paint road that when we just make it. So I just want to preemptively say, the paint the fade. The way you fix that we paint it again.
Should all of our highway crew was, all of our highway crew painting roads, when they finish one, they start the other one. So, but you know, so let us have the commission. My recommendation is to I think let us have a commission to face this crisis, to come up with solutions that will work, right? And then, because not all of us know everything, and you know, I didn't even know it's happening on Saturday. It was when I was in church yesterday. I heard it mentioned, and the whole church prayed concerning it, because we mention these things and we talk about these things, and you too, because we have passion and we have love for the young people. It's like you feel tragedy when somebody has a young, in the family, right, passes away unnecessarily.
Yeah, a young mother and her young daughter. These are just, we want express with sadness over it, but I'll tell you something, man, like the family members of these young persons, you can't imagine that. That's a horrific pain that they will feel for a very long time. We will move on. Like by Wednesday, we're gonna start talk about black cake again, right? Everybody gonna start prepare for the season, and we're going back to a norm. There will not be a norm again for the immediate loved ones of these folks. Like, their new norm is grief. And we understand that loss is a part of living, but man, we can do better. We could do better. Give thanks for the call. I gotta go to break. We'll be back.
Zingmas 2024. That's right, it's a Zingmas celebration.
All right, welcome back to the WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. Obviously a sad weekend and a sad morning for Belize. We have calls, people are sending messages on my phone as well. WB, good morning.
Good morning, Mose. I want to go into another direction,
Sure.
which has implications for planetary tragedy. Belize's presentation at the ICJ on December the 3rd was excellent, Mose. I did listen to it on the very day. I had to view this later on because of time. Well, I didn't get the entire presentation made by seemingly Mr. Williams. That's what the registrar of the court of the ICJ referred to the person as. So, is there a Williams in the environmental ministry, the ministry that is to deal with climate change?
Yeah, CEO.
Oh, well, then that was the person. I only caught the end of what he said, and he made reference to the fact that international unit has calculated that, but I'm putting in this word at a minimum, they need 584 billion per year to be available for adaptation, risk loss, all of that. And that all that they came away with was a commitment or a promise of 300 billion. So using that figure he gave, it's 284 billion short. Then the persons who spoke for us were two, sounds to me like British lawyers. One is the Sam Wordsworth and one is Amy Founder. And Mr. Wordsworth was the lead presenter, and he was very precise, concise, and very much on point. He argued that the issue of customary international law on the matter of prevention cannot be set aside in dealing with the climate matter by claiming that only the Paris Agreement arising out of the Convention on Climate Change, UN Convention, can apply. And he proceeded to, in my opinion, efficiently demolish the arguments. Six lines of argument, he said, have been presented so far. And, well, not so far, but I'm saying so far because it's day 3. This goes up right until next week, Friday. And he do something else. Right? So that is how we run our affairs. And this is why these people, this is why we are not in a position to take them on, but we have to take them on.
Miss Corey, a very important topic, and I can't do justice to it with the time I have.
I'm not planning to speak long on it, Mose. I just thought
Yeah.
I learned that Elise's presentation was meticulously presented, prepared and presented, and I am in complete agreement with the content of our arguments. Okay?
All right. Thank you very much. We go to a break. We'll come back. right, welcome back. This is Wake Up Billy's Morning Vibes. Mose Hyde in the house with you. We're over time. And in fact, we still have a break remaining. It's been obviously a morning with folks. And just a couple of things before we go to a final break here. Let me just put this out. Reminding you that tonight at 7:30 is the first night of our Christmas show. It's Zinc Mass. You don't want to miss it. It's great entertainment, special guests, giveaways. You know it. We were going to spend a lot more time this morning talking about the show, but unfortunately, we couldn't really do that because of what has happened. A whole wealth of information shared. I think I maybe will have to get into some of these tomorrow morning. We're going to have a busy morning tomorrow, but we're going to try to make it our work. We're out of time, and so we're going to take this last break and come back and wrap up.
Zingmas 2024. That's right, it's a Zingmas celebration. Live on XTV and Creme Radio, bringing to you over
We come back tomorrow morning, 6:30, for the Tuesday morning edition of the WUB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. Do make sure that you find the time to schedule in our Christmas production tonight and all nights for the remaining week until Sunday night. We bring you our final edition of the show. We want you to enjoy it. Starts at 7:30. Don't miss out. We got to give thanks to the crew. Larry G at Creme Radio, the Glue at XTV, Mr. Cliff, Lois, and in the control room this morning, Alexi Belay. Have a great Monday. Stand strong, stand firm. For now, we're gone!
Wake up, Belize. 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 Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WB. Be yourself, see yourself. This is a show my people. Belize our hopes so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out. It's the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Love, respect,